Hello everyone, this is Felix from GMWolf. Today I want to quickly demo my latest asset, GM.9patch. So what GM.9patch allows you to do is draw sprites that you can resize and stretch, etc. But keeping parts of it a fixed size. A good example is keeping the corners the same size if you want to resize a button, for example. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate how to use it and how to define your different 9patches. Now, basically once you've downloaded it from once you have purchased it off the marketplace, you just have to add it into your project, which is as easy as going to your library and going to the correct section and finding what you want. And after having downloaded it, you can simply import it into your project. Now, there's a bunch of different demos that you can use, which I've included in there. If you just want the scripts, go ahead and add those scripts here and click import. So once it's imported, you'll be able to see that inside your scripts you have a new folder called GM.9patch, and you have all different scripts in here. So the first script, the _global script, you don't really have to worry about. It's just there in order to generate all 9patch information. You shouldn't ever have to call it. Beneath that you have the main drawing scripts that allow you to draw your 9patches in a bunch of different ways. Now, as I'll mention and explain in the end of this video, I do plan on adding more, but for now there are 4 different ways to draw your 9patch for total control. So first of all, what we're going to look at is how to define your 9patches. So I'm going to create a very simple one by quickly creating a new sprite, and I'm going to edit it. I'm going to create a single frame sprite to keep things simple. But what I'm going to do is first of all turn on the grid and create a very simple outline like so. As you can see, it's just going to be square corners, not square corners, but the corners, angle corners, 45-degree angle corners like so, just to make things easy to see. However, what you can do here is actually create really anything you like. Any part of it will be able to be defined as stretchable or non-stretchable, so go crazy. Actually, this system was designed to be compatible with Android-style resizable 9patches. So go ahead and download those and use them if you want your app to look super sharp. So once you've created your panel image, your 9patch, what you can do is start defining what parts are stretchable and which parts are not. Now, before you can do this, what you need to do is resize your frame to be exactly 2 pixels larger, and that is so that it will give us a nice 1 pixel border all the way around. So the edges we're interested about now are the left and top edges, which will define the non-stretchable regions. So any place you place pixels, anything other than pure black and transparent, will not be stretched. So as you can see here, I'm simply defining my corners as non-stretchable, like so. Now you only need to use the top and left corners. The bottom and right corners will be used for content. But for now, as you can see, all I did was add pixels where I didn't want the sprite to stretch. So now that this is done, it's all you have to do. You can close it, and there is one last step, which is naming your sprite. I'm going to rename it S panel. And what's important is that the name of your sprite always ends on _9p. So any sprite which is suffixed _9p will automatically get detected by the system, and the 9patch information will get generated. So this is it for the sprite. All that's left to do is show how to draw it, and that's really quite simple. All we need to do is create a test object, test, and quickly add a draw event. So the code used is actually really quite simple. I'm just going to quickly hide this to give me more space. All it is draw _9patch, and this takes a couple arguments. The first is the sprite you want to draw, so we have spanel _9p. Next, we have this subimage. We're going to use 0 because we didn't put any information. However, you can animate your 9patches all you have to do is supply the correct subimage you want to draw every time. This will only change the color. It will not affect the stretchable and non-stretchable regions. Those are not yet animatable. So it's important that you make sure your animation will always fit within the regions you defined. After that, we have the X and Y position we want to draw the 9 patch. This will be the top left corner. So we're going to just use the X and Y position of the object. And the next arguments are the width and height. Now I'm going to use mouse_x minus x and mouse_y minus y, such that the bottom right corner will always be at the position of my mouse. However, you would probably use a width and height variable that you defined elsewhere. So this is it for drawing a 9 patch. As you can see, it's quite simple. You only have to care about the information that's important for that time you're drawing. You don't have to define where the stretchable regions are. It's really quite simple. All that's left to do really is add this into a room. So I have the default room here, and all I'm going to do is add my test object somewhere here, and we can go ahead and test it. Now, as I mentioned, this will work fine with any 9 patches that you've got from Android style. There's also a bunch of other resources that use the same style of 9 patch, so it's really quite useful. Now, as you can see, the 9 patch is being stretched the correct way, but the corners are always staying that same size. So it's really quite good for GUI elements or text boxes, speech bubbles, and so on. So this is it for the basic 9 patch, but we can do better. We can add non-stretchable regions in the middle of our sprites. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. It's really quite simple. All you have to do is open up your sprites, and what we're going to do is add some, let's say, yellow pixels going down the middle over here. So if I turn this on, the middle is somewhere here. Now I'm just going to add a couple of these. And perhaps we can also add, well no, let's keep it like this for now. And all we have to do now is select these pixels as being non-stretchable. So as you can see, right next to where my line is, I added some red pixels to indicate these will not stretch. And now if I close this and press play, as you will be able to see, the middle line will always be the correct size. It will not get stretched, it will keep a nice 2 pixel width. So, as you can see, it is doing this perfectly. And this is really where the power of GM.9patch is. You can really define any kind of patches you want. It's not just 9 patches really, it's n patches. In fact, we're going to go in and show that we can move those down, like so. I'm going to fill them back with this blue color. And I'm actually going to move them down over here, like so. Maybe make them 3 high, like so. And define my new non-stretchable regions over here. Now, the other feature I want to show is the content region. The content regions allow you to define where text can be put. And using the Draw9patch text functions, you can add text, easily add text into your 9 patches. So what I'm going to do, I like to use black or blue pixels depending on my thing, but once again, it doesn't matter what color pixel you use. So I'm just going to define them something like so. Should be good. So along the bottom, it will be confined to this width. And I want it to be just above this line over here. So I'm going to define something like this, such that my text will be above that line. Actually, what I may do, just to make things more interesting, is add another yellow line up here. And this will be right at the top. In fact, I'm going to make it yellow and let's say red, like so. And this will sit right on top of my text. And once again, I need to make sure this is set as a non-stretchable region. So I'm just going to, here you go, make this a non-stretchable region. So what I've done here is added this new non-stretchable region up here and a content region over on the right, so that it will sit between the 2 lines. So this is defining the sprites. All we have to do now is go ahead and change this from Draw9patch to Draw9patch_text. And now we can add at the end a new argument, and we could say, for example, hello, this is nice. And if we now press run, once it's compiled, you'll be able to see the text sitting right in the region we defined. And it should even wrap correctly. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to read because of the colors I choose, but it even wraps as it gets smaller. And as you can see, it's sitting right below that line where we defined it should stay. In fact, one way to make this clearer would be obviously to draw the text in black. In fact, I think doing draw_set color should fix that. In order to see our text better, just in case this doesn't show up on YouTube. Now, of course, if you're using Game Maker Studio 1.4, the default draw color is already black, so it should do it fine. So here you go. As you can see, probably much easier to see. The text is staying right in the content region we defined, and it's even wrapping up the right way. So this is pretty much it for this quick demo. I would like to point out that there are two other ways of drawing the sprites, which are Draw9patch Text Extended and Draw9patch Text Extended, which will allow you to rotate and change the color of your sprites and so on. I'm also planning on adding some more features as it goes along in order to wrap your panels directly around your text and so on. So a link to the asset will be in the description of this video, so please go check it out if you are interested, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Game Maker related tutorials and videos.